Okay, here we go. We're going live, Amanda. Hmm.
Okay, dear. Yeah, we're live.
Yay, we are live. Hey, Amanda.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here with you today, my dear.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
me-
And to be the first guest of your series, I am honored.
Yes, and thank you for the short notice. Welcome, everybody. This is the first episode of Wild Heart Sisterhood interviews. We'll get into more of the story of that in a moment, but right now, who's joining me is Amanda Masters, who is a wonderful woman, an incredible friend, mother of three beautiful children. She is the co founder and CEO of Awake TV Network. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, Miss Patricia. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Yeah, thanks for joining. So, this is the first one. So, I'm learning to use all the applications, and Amanda's taking a moment to share it to everyone.
Yeah, sharing out on Facebook here.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. So, while you do that, I'll give a bit of a backstory. All my life, I have traveled, I have worked with so many different people. I have traveled the deserts in India. I have been up in the Arctic of Canada. I have gone all over the States and through Central America. I have been in Indonesia and Europe. Um, and every time I've traveled, I have met incredible, inspiring women, women that are willing and able and to open to their wisdom and live from those places and share those places with those around them. Inspired action, sacred action, with the vibration of connection and love and being together. So, what it called me in was to have these quick 20-minute, half an hour gatherings with women I've met, to have tea together and share time together wherever we are in the world. At the moment, I'm in Canada, in Tawasin, and Amanda joins us from San Diego. It was just the other day we had tea at my favorite coffee spot, Amanda.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And so, Amanda, when you're ready, go ahead and share a little bit. Like, I remember meeting you over 10 years ago um, at Marav's home, I believe. The woman that owned the home was, her name is Marav. I'd only met her a couple of times.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So this is back in, I think, 2011. And Marav, I was introduced to Marav by Lynn Kay. Do you remember Lynn Kay is? She was my mentor back after my car accident that awakened me and at the end of 2010. And
Right.
so she introduced me to Marav. And you and Bill were hosting a gathering at Marav's house in Encinitas.
Right.
And so I decided to go. And that's when I first met the both of you and experienced your love and your heart space and your channeling and your incredible meditative abilities and the balancing of the masculine and feminine. And it was really so powerful. So that was my introduction to both you and Bill. And then over the years, we connected off and on. And most recently, you and Bill hosted a show on Awake TV that is just a stunning, incredible show. And I got to experience your work. So Patricia and Bill did what do you call them? Heart shift session, heart healing session,
We call them heart invitation when we're meeting.
heart
You know.
invitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got to experience that at their home here in San Diego, maybe a month ago now. And it was a very nurturing, expanding, transformative experience. Patricia and Bill really both acted as physical conduits for moving energy through my body, through my physical space, as well as my energetic field, so that I could open and expand my heart space.
Yeah.
We all have stuff that gets stuck or that has been there for, ancestral or lifetimes or whatever it is. And they really helped me move and emote to allow this energy to shift. And they were just totally supportive. Patricia was doing a lot of channeling of energy and information for me, and they both had their hands all over me, going to where the energy needed to be moved and to support that process of flow and movement. And it was one of the most powerful experiences I've had, Patricia. I
Wow.
was really blown away by the experience I had, and the fact that you do this on retreats,
Yes.
multi-day with retreats with 20, 30, however many people. The fact that you two can hold that kind of space for real transformation for many people over days is incredible,
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank you, Amanda. And it's really
Yeah.
it's meeting people like yourself. When we met you in 2011, that was when I was first coming out. Like for me, I've always been really sensitive and felt energy. Uh, I was empathic before I knew what that word was, before there was so much information out on
Hmm.
the planet about being empathic. And so for me to actually come out and stand in and be my gift,
Hmm.
it's taken me along an incredible journey and many years to stand in it, you know, because the other thing in my heart, and I feel it in your heart and other women I meet, is that as we arise in our heart, there's also this inherent calling for our wisdom and truth to be with it.
Mm.
That piercing, beautiful energy that love brings in, of truth,
Mm.
infinite love.
Mm.
And one thing I want to say about Amanda and share about Amanda is we are gleefully, when we meet in person, it's a lot of because we're both tall women. Very tall. So I'm 6 feet. I think you're 6'1" or 6'2",
I'm
Amanda.
6'1".
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when we hug, it's like, oh my goodness, there you are, sister, another tall one.
I know.
And the other thing, Amanda, is I want to also honor you in the way that you have it. I This came in for me, that at one point I moved through being tall. Like tall, I was like, oh, I'm the tallest one. I felt uncomfortable in my energy field. I felt
Hmm.
comfortable with all the attention on me. However, now that I'm standing in who I am, I'm very comfortable with my height. I'm very
Hmm.
comfortable. And what I also witness and what you reflect back to me is that I really feel creation makes no mistakes. And our height and the fullness of who we are, that enables us to hold many.
Hmm.
And for those listening that don't know Amanda, the Wake TV network is holding many. And
Hmm.
Amanda is always there with each of us, encouraging us to interconnect, encouraging us to come in community again and again and again. And I really feel that's the power of our time, Amanda, is
Right.
unity and coming together and
Hmm.
supporting each other.
Hmm. I am in total alignment with that. And I've always thought and felt you as a very powerful woman. And, part of being tall and and 6 feet tall and carrying that energy and that grace is knowing that we are conduits of mass amounts of energy. We are actually large containers that allow for other people to shift their consciousness and our presence, whether it's across the world or together in physical person. I've always known myself to be a major conduit of energy. I've hosted guided theta wave brainwave meditations for many, many years. And this energy and channeling and stuff just moves through me in a big way. So it's the ability to push this energy and move it and support others. And that's definitely reflected in you. You definitely empower this strong, you reflect this strong, powerful, yet graceful, nurturing, loving woman with a magnificent heart space.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm just feeling your heart so much. And I just, again, I'm just so happy you're here on this call with me.
Thank you.
So, kind of the vision of the call is to continue these calls and over the next period of a year or two to build a video reference, a community of women to inspire other women. So, we're all being called into that. And I really believe inherently working with my husband or just with women that as women, we can also prepare ourselves to call in the men,
Mm,
embrace our own healing.
mm-hmm.
We're able to stand in that power of being a woman and that tenderness and that loving acceptance. The masculine feels a place to come to. Instead of being walls or fear, the masculine feels invitation. So whether that's a reflected um, as humans outside of us, or whether it's our own masculine and feminine in us, it's an amazing time to be alive on the planet in this,
Absolutely.
in the awareness and the consciousness of this. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely, men out there, if you're listening and you feel called to open your heart space and to allow the tenderness of love in and the gentleness of it, not the pushing and pulling energy that is often so related to the masculine way of being, but the tenderness of love, the gentleness of unconditional love. There is a lot of support uh, out there now. Um, and Bill and Patricia, for example, are a huge conduit. Bill is, he grew up as this, machismo male, you know, alpha male energy that's, I'm a man and I can build, I do this, I do that, and very strong willed and he holds that really big. And he has softened since meeting Patricia. Part of his journey has been to soften himself and to really allow the feminine energy within him to open. And that's that nurturing, caring heart space. He's just as masculine as he's always been. He's just as machismo. He's just as, you know, and he's got this very gentle way and nature about him that is so supportive and loving. And that's just the higher vibrational aspect of living that is offered nowadays.
Wow.
And for all of us to transform and move into these higher vibrational frequencies that are here to support us now, it's really this higher dimensional living that a lot of people are talking about. One of those aspects is not being so in this dichotomy, this push and pull, that there's this integration of the masculine and feminine within us.
Yeah.
And one belief I have, Patricia, is that so within, so without, right? So what you're experiencing on the inside, if there's more of this integration of the masculine and feminine within, then there's this opportunity to see that in the world around you and to experience that through the heart space in the world around you. And for men, still to completely hold your masculinity and that magnificence that is a man. I mean, I am so attracted to men for everything they represent and their masculinity. It's hot, it's strong, it's powerful. I'm not building buildings, I'm not constructing things, I'm not fixing cars, I'm not, an architect out there, whatever it is. I'm so attracted to the masculine energy and that power and that drive and that action oriented creation energy that is the masculine. It is sexy, it is hot, it is powerful.
It is it is required, it's like that
It is required.
acceptance of the river,
Yes.
beautiful interweaving of the two energies and within us, as you said, that what's in reflects out, that dance between our own masculine and feminine.
Yeah. And there's nothing sexier than a man that can hold his masculinity and his sexiness and his power and be that doer that the demand is, and be sensitive and understanding, and hold that space for us,
Yeah,
and you with the open heart space and understanding and communicative. There's nothing sexier than that,
absolutely.
you know.
Mm, where you feel heard, seen, and felt, you know it. You're
Right.
very present with you, whatever the flavor is at the moment. So actually, as you were speaking, I was really feeling John.
Mm.
Can you share a little story about your partner, John? He's one of the sweetest earth angels I've ever met.
Oh,
So
I
I would love if you would share
know.
him.
Yeah, John has been a businessman his entire life. He's the co-founder of Awake TV Network. We formed this network together. And he has learned to soften his energy and experience higher vibrational frequencies of spirituality in a more defined way and understanding. Um, and John's one of those typical men that historically has been a businessman. He's been a creator, a phenomenal manifester, this guy. I mean, he graduated Northwestern Law School and went and became the Assistant Attorney General for the state of Washington. That was his first job out of school in his early 20s. Then he came down to San Diego, started a law firm. Then he decided to buy the Poseidon restaurant here in Del Mar. Then he decided, I don't want to put my money in someone else's bank. He started the Bank of Del Mar that ended up eventually getting bought out by the Bank of La Jolla and Bank of America. And he's done these kind of projects his entire life. He is a creator. He's an entrepreneur. He's just anyone that has had any issues legally or anything, any big projects, they're like, give it to John because he'll figure it out. He can handle it. So he's been this typical, masculine creation energy doer that is just off the charts brilliant, and has used all his gifts to really live the 3D lifestyle, shall I say, of business success, etc. We meet the beginning of January 2019. This is just not that long ago, which is bizarre because, of course, it feels like forever, right? When you meet
Yeah,
your divine partner, it feels like forever.
yeah.
And we end up, he reads this book I channeled because I'm, this spiritual, I walk both lanes, project manager at the local utility, IT project manager, and yet I'm very spiritually inclined. And I had my own major car accident in 2010 that woke me up.
Yeah.
I used alternative healing methodologies to heal myself, to heal my energy system and my body after the car accident in 2010. Doctors didn't know what to do with me. They were like, you should be paralyzed or dead, and you could still move that direction.
Yeah.
I had something called pooling of fluid in my spinal cord in multiple locations, and they said, we don't know what to do with you. You may become paralyzed and you may die. And I had 3 young children at the time, was not
Ooh,
okay with that.
yeah.
And so I started my alternative healing path and my spiritual path. So fast forward to 2019, I channeled a book and he read it and it cracked him open. It's called Love Realized. And John, being this former, he's like, that's airy fairy stuff. Historically, that would be what he'd call it, airy fairy, like spiritual work, spiritual stuff. And he was just blown away. He was like, oh my goodness, this book is amazing. I'm crying. I don't know what I'm experiencing. So that was the start of our journey in early 2019. He then was getting his own downloads about us working together and how he could help me move forward with this book and our ventures. So we ended up forming an LLC in, I think, March of last year. And by August, we were starting to form Awake TV Network. And here we are, September 2020, with Awake TV Network that has now been launched, out there in a big way. And we have huge things coming up where we're going to be out in front of millions. We're in a new phase of expansion, and we've had so many blessings. But a story about John. This is somebody who really does not have any ego going on.
Yeah. He's inspired action.
He works through inspired action, and he's allowed me to be me and all my energy, 6'1", leading a network out there in the world, doing my thing, and hold space as this masculine pillar, this grounding energy.
Oh, beautiful.
And he holds that space powerfully. And yet he's the most gentle, loving, incredible lover I have ever had. He's like this incredible mix. And what it's been about is him opening and allowing that curiosity of opening and that wonderment that he's always in to move him into a new space of consciousness himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's always, there's so much language, spiritual languaging I use, and he's always saying, I know it's English language and I have no idea what you mean right now. I have no idea what you're talking about. You need to speak it in a language I understand. And he's wanted to learn. And yet I've learned so much from him, right? I've learned so much from him about just living your speak, walking your talk. This is a man who has been completely open, completely vulnerable, and allowed himself to shift and walk and be that shift.
Well, one thing with John, of all the other amazing things, when you witness him or feel him, his eyes are so bright and
Mm,
so present, and his
that's it.
heart comes into the room even before he does.
Mm,
City, you look in his eyes, and there's a curious, inspired playfulness, like
mm,
he's playing in life, you know? And it's like anyone that comes into his field, he is curious. And
mm.
is how can we play even bigger now? How can we move even bigger now? So
That's beautiful.
it's really wonderful. And we're kind of winding down. We're coming to a close with our time together, but I'm sure I'm going to dive in and invite you along the way of this journey. Um, so in so one of my natural movements is when I'm moving. I was speaking to you at one point about this, but moving from community to community, city to city, I feel the hearts on the edge of stepping
Mm,
into who they are. I feel hearts that might be a bit of confusion or not really sure how to get out from the box that they're in, however that was constructed. And so, in the intention of the flow and the energy with these interviews, I'm inspired to encourage women and men, however, women is the focus here, to step into fully who they are and share their wisdom with an open heart. That even business, I love how you laid it out and played with us today in painting how John and yourself, business and your heart open. Your heart open is part of the business. Your
right.
natural intuition, instinct, inspired action is your business. It's no longer separate. Maybe decades
Correct.
ago, those were separate entities, not anymore.
No.
In fact, we're all being encouraged to bring the heart with us in every environment because that's what's going to balance back our humanity. That's what's going to bring
Absolutely.
truth to arise. So, in
Mhm.
saying all that, what would you like to say to the women out there? What would you like to encourage for them?
Oh my goodness. Well, if you feel a drive inside, a fire, um, or almost like something's missing in your life, that you feel like there's more for you, start reading books, find things that are inspiring to you to work on shifting your consciousness and opening your heart space. AwakeTVNetwork.live, which I'm the founder and CEO of, is a bevy of hosts and information, all here to support you in this transformation. Patricia and Bill Klum have an amazing way of supporting opening the heart space. Women, it is time that we stand up and that we are proud of who we are and what we bring with our feminine energy, our feminine qualities, and our power.
Yeah.
And I stand 6'1". Patricia is 6 feet. we naturally walk in that power, and there's been times in both of our lives where it's like, I don't want to be seen by everyone. I don't want to be, being 6'1", it's like everyone sees you whether you want to be noticed or not. Now is a time where this a phenomenal moment in history where we are stepping out.
Yeah.
And it's this balance of power and focus and strength and grace and nurturing and motherhood and love that is offering us an opportunity to really step out together, empower one another, and support the shifting of our planet from a warring, competitive, energetic way of existing to cooperation, love, nurturing, support, kindness. And you can do that with your authenticity, with your power, grounded in grace. And no, you don't need to be known as a bitch. That's not the way you need to do it. Okay, you can be empowered and authentic and strong and nurturing and loving with the heart open in grace.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank
It
you.
is our time to step out, speak our truth, be authentic, and be the leaders that we are. Show the nurturing way of living authentically in our power. This is the time, the moment. And we're here to support you. AwakeTVNetwork.live. I'm here. You can message me here on Facebook anytime to connect. And Patricia is the embodiment of heart and grace
Mm,
and empowerment.
thank you, Amanda. I feel like today is a celebration. So thank you for celebrating all this with me. And I'm looking forward to see where this road takes you, myself, us, and all the adventures we're sharing together.
I know. Well, and you know, you're just starting this. So many dynamic, gorgeous, phenomenal women. This is going to be quite a series. It's going to be, and who knows where it's going to branch. Like how, women's live events all over the world that are being hosted or whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
It's about empowerment, and for men who are attracted to this empowerment energy, this is for you too. It's about being in your strength and with the heart open. For
Yeah.
some
And
people, it's like, what does that even mean? So,
yeah, exactly. And a quick before we wrap up, because I know I want to honor your precious time. I know you're busy and full.
mm,
With that saying, if someone's in a couplehood, we don't have to stand under the shadow of another. Each of us are being asked, whether we're masculine, feminine, whatever our gender, to stand in our voice, our wisdom, and our power.
right?
Yeah.
It's called spiritual sovereignty.
Yes. Letting our gifts shine. Beautiful. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for joining me. Have an amazing day.
I love you.
Love
You're
you.
phenomenal, and thank you. I'm honored to be your first guest on this series.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
Love you.
wonderful. Do
See.
you know,
Oh,
let me ask you this question now that we're in. Do you know how to end the,
yes, I do. Thank you.
just making sure.
I'm just diving in. Thank you, Amanda. Take care.